Bowl. If Jimmy Garoppolo complete a damn pass, they should have won the Super Bowl. This ain't some insurmountable task. Y'all could beat them. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league, but it ain't that big of a gap between him and 4. 4 is special. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, you done? You done, Coach?
I'm
done.
I'm done.
Hey, let's go to Tony. Tony is that Tony Richmond or is that Tony in? There we go. Tony, what's going on, baby?
If you want to go down to Arrowhead week 1, give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah. There you go.
Let me tell you something. When I was in Arrowhead this past season and we went up there and Deshaun Watson came back after being down 17-3, I saw fear in the Kansas City Chiefs. Up to the guys sending me the Coors Light beer because they knew what the Texans are. They knew the weapons that we have, and they know for sure in their heart that we're the ones that allowed them to beat us in that 24-3 collapse. But I'm gonna tell you something. This is the year that we answer the bell, because this could be the first year that Deshaun Watson wins on the opening night. This could be the first year that Bill O'Brien not only takes us to the AFC Championship, but takes us to the Super Bowl as the GM and head coach of a football team. And this could be the first year that Brandon Cooks, Will Fuller, and Randall Cobb don't go down with an injury. They will get that dub, baby.
There you go.
Hey, my man came in hot, didn't he? He was loaded. He was ready.
I'm telling you, I want to know where they are.
Good morning, Houston, Texas. Man, when I tell you that I had to hold my excitement all night to come and give you guys this content and this video, believe me, I did. So to burn off some of that energy yesterday, usually because I don't work out this late, hit the bike, did some pec workouts, and still after my workout, I was ready to make a video for you guys. But as you guys know the schedule on this channel, we put out a video Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, Mondays, and then this particular Tuesday we actually have a Tuesday tribute to another cornerstone for the Houston Texans. You will see that video on Tuesday, but usually, like I said, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Wanted to give you guys one on Thursday. I will put out a video for you guys, and I just want to stick to that schedule for many reasons. Some of the reasons is I put that schedule well thought out before, and then 2, it ended up working out because other YouTubers that I watch, that I'm a fan of, that I constantly push because they're doing great work on this channel, on this YouTube thing. They actually happen to post on days that I don't, and it actually works out fine, I think. But yeah, man, the NFL released the schedule for the 2020 NFL season, and more importantly, it was released for the Houston Texans. Now, off the bat, man, I think we saw this coming miles away. Right at the gate, the Houston Texans are going to travel on a opening season night on Thursday night and head out to Arrowhead, and I just purchased my tickets yesterday for that game. So listen, I'm headed back to Arrowhead. I was there for week 6 last year, and man, it was like nothing else. The atmosphere there, let me tell you something. Those fans, they don't stop screaming. They stay loud, and even though there's moments at time where maybe their team gets scored on, where they quiet down, right after their team starts to get a possession or they're defending, they're right back at it with their chants. Whether they have fans or not, at the end of the day, I don't think that's going to be such a tremendous factor as people tend to make it seem, and we're actually going to get into it a little bit. But I am so thankful to the NFL that they said, you know what, Houston, Texas, why don't you answer the bell, and why don't you answer the bell early? When it comes to Bill O'Brien, man, look, did he have the team prepared last year against the Saints on a Monday night? I think he did. given the fact that you had a new left tackle, you had 2 new running backs in Duke Johnson and Carlos Hyde. On top of that, you had Kenny Stills, a new wide receiver, and all of them were able to contribute. I really, really think that with the time that we've had with the new players now, even though this offseason has been different than most off seasons, I trust that Bill O'Brien will have this team ready to go, especially when it comes to a team that pretty much kicked you out, man. Pretty much said, hey, here's a carrot hanging down your face, and just when you thought you had possession of it, it was gone, just like that. And not only that, but they kicked you out, and they went on to win the Super Bowl. There's nothing, I think, more painful than knowing that you could have been the team that could have gone on that same run. But yeah, man, this game, look, to me, it means everything. It will entail exactly how this season will go for the Houston Texans. And I think for the first time, Deshaun Watson is going to get a win on opening day, man. Deshaun Watson will get a win on opening day. And honestly, Deshaun Watson plays way better on the road. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because when he was at Clemson, even though he was on offense, the crowd was still cheering. But one thing that I do know is, and they're picking up this trash right here, man. I knew this was going to happen, but it's all good. They do it pretty quickly. He's just really, really good when it comes to road games. And don't get me started on how good he is when it comes to primetime games. Shout out to Lonnie Johnson, man. Lonnie Johnson off the gate. Actually, I think it actually started with Deshaun Watson. Look, there was already a leak yesterday morning of the Texans playing the Chiefs, right? I retweeted it. And like I said, it's not like it wasn't something that we didn't know the NFL was going to do. I mean, when they had a chance to put a story together where a team was up 24-0, 24-3, and you're able to team that up with the previous Super Bowl champion, you can't not put that story out. Sorry Titans fans, but it wasn't important to see the Chiefs versus the Titans, mainly because we always dominate your asses, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and talk shit now. I said it, all right? I don't see the Titans being in the playoffs this year, and I will get my thoughts on that in later videos. But, man, the NFL said, hey, Bill O'Brien, answer the bell and answer the bell early. And we know they said answer the bell early because of who we are going to face in Week 2. And like I said, that's for another video today. I want to focus on the Kansas City Chiefs. Man, when we went up there in Week 6, I know many people want to say, oh, we squeezed the win at the end. We converted on 4th and 3 to DeAndre Hopkins, and that's the reason why we were able to get out of Arrowhead with that margin of victory. But at the end of the day, man, the Kansas City Chiefs gave us everything they had. We only had one pick on them in that game, and it was a throwaway that Deshaun Gibson knew exactly where his throwaway angles are for Mahomes, and he went and he picked it off, which actually brings me to this point. It's going to be a very crucial point to see who we put at safety. Honestly, if it isn't Lonnie Johnson and it's Eric Murray, Kelsey's going to eat, and you're just going to have to accept that during the game. But as long as you can shut down Watkins, as long as you can shut down Harmon, as long as you can limit Tyreek Hill, Kelsey can eat all he wants, man, because at the end of the day, you have to end up going to someone else, and they are going to force that, because I really think that our defensive coordinator will blitz a lot more than we actually blitzed in Week 6. Believe it or not, we actually blitzed quite a lot in Week 6. We had a forced fumble by Omenihu, who I feel like has improved this year and can only get better. So let's see if he has another fumble. We also had, like I said, we had that pick. We had a couple of third downs where we were able to stop them from converting. Some of them were drops from Kelsey. Some of them was stops from Roby on Tyreek Hill. And so, I expect a very, very fought game. But I think the Texans will escape with a victory, because ultimately I think Sticky said this yesterday in his video. The Chiefs have not got better against the run. Now, they did get better against the run. They were better against the run in the playoffs, right? We weren't able to run as much, but then I could also say, did we even try to run as much against the Kansas City? And that brings me to another point. You know, Carlos Hyde is no longer on this team, but Duke Johnson is. Duke Johnson had major first down conversions in that first game. And man, if there's one guy that's going to fight to the last minute, even if you're losing, it's going to be Duke Johnson. And I think that also helps Deshaun Watson, because his rookie year, Deshaun Watson, there was games where we might be down 2 touchdowns, but he's still at the end of the game. Matter of fact, the Kansas City game that we had at home with Deshaun Watson's rookie year, we lost that game in a shootout, but Deshaun Watson to the last minute was still trying to score. And I feel like that's something that we cannot allow our young quarterback, that trait to actually leave who he is, because that's what makes him deadly. The fact that he's always going to be in games. And if we begin to make him I guess you could say a game manager, where, you know, for instance, with the Chiefs, you start to relax a little bit because you're up 24-3. No, man. What we want to see off the gate is you putting your foot on their neck and saying, I don't care how much and how many points it takes tonight to beat you guys, but we're willing to put those points up. We're willing to go down for 4th down conversions. Listen, and that week 6, they went, I want to say maybe 2 or 3 4th down conversions, and in the playoffs, in 4th and inches, we didn't have the guts to do it. Base it on whatever you want to base it on, but you would think that in a playoff game, you would actually freaking risk it there more than you would risk it in a week 6 game. So what I need from Bill O'Brien, what I need from Tim Kelly is to not be afraid, man. Leave that fear behind. When it comes to last season, leave that fear behind and be ready to answer the bell. That's why I wanted to shout out Lonnie Johnson, because Lonnie Johnson was on Sports 790.
Johnson, Texans second-year cornerback here on Sports Talk 790. Obviously, the schedule is being released today, and we already know that the Texans are opening the season. You'll be on the road at Arrowhead, probably without fans, but playing the Kansas City Chiefs. Does that mean anything to you? Do you care that the schedule's coming out today? What do you do when you see the schedule?
I mean, it's pretty much personal. You know, they was a team that knocked us out of the playoffs. They was a team that we ended up beating in the regular season. So as far as my career go, you know, we 1-1 with Kansas City in my career. And as far as battle matchup wise, I say I'm 1-1 with Travis Kelce. You know, I say I won the regular season one, he won the playoff one. So, you know, it's a lot of ties. It's on us to go out there and break it this time. You know,
he was talking about this game and was saying, hey man, it's personal. He said, as far as I know, I'm 1-1 when it comes to Travis Kelce, and I want that matchup again, because he feels like he has something that maybe Travis Kelce has problem dealing with. Look, there was reports that Lonnie Johnson got injured on that punt. A return by Harmon might have twisted his ankle. I don't know. From there on, I didn't really see him struggle with his ankle much. All I know is Travis Kelce didn't eat just on Lonnie Johnson. He was eating on Conley on a touchdown. He ate on McKinney on some of those touchdowns. So, you know, it wasn't just on Lonnie Johnson. There was plenty of people that Cornell was switching on Kelce, and no one was able to cover him. And like I said, when it comes to the safety on this team, besides Justin Reed, I don't really know what they're going to do there with Travis Kelce. And the other thing is, they were talking about how they were hiding Travis Kelce in the backfield. That way somebody wouldn't be able to press him at the line of scrimmage, a.k.a. Lonnie Johnson. Find a way to do it, man. Look, Lonnie's been putting in the work, and I trust in him. If he wants to challenge, ain't nothing better than a man who wants to challenge and openly comes out and says it. Now, I don't know how Bill O'Brien is going to feel about that particular case, but hey, man, it is what it is. The other thing that I actually played it at the beginning of this video is, you know, the reason why I feel so confident when it comes to winning week 1 in Arrowhead, even though they will have their ring ceremony. I mean, there's nothing much greater than that of a reminder to tell you we got this ring because we freaking made you guys collapse. And ultimately, look, I wouldn't say the Chiefs beat us. I want to say we let them beat us. Like, we allowed them back into the game. We gave them a second, a breath of air. And so, look, did you not expect the Chiefs to take that second opportunity and come? Every team that gave them that second opportunity in their playoff run, they took advantage of it. And that's what you cannot allow to happen in week one. And, man, you got to come firing out of the gate like Deshaun Watson is saying. Another guy that I saw, man, Titus Howard. Titus Howard was not in the playoff game. And, man, did he make a difference in that first game. He was pushing the line, man. Getting Carlos Hyde, major push. And I feel like if we're really calling David Johnson a better running back than Carlos Hyde, then David Johnson should easily go out and get 100 rushing yards. If not even 150 with 50 receiving yards. And look, the guy's putting in the work. Somebody needs to fill him in. One of the things that I didn't like that happened yesterday on NFL Network is we had Randall Cobb. Speaking on behalf of the Texans. Look, I know Randall Cobb was watching the game, as he said, while they were talking to him about our schedule, but he wasn't in the game. So the fact that, one, you didn't put your leader, which is Deshaun Watson, or two, Bill O'Brien, you don't give a face, that makes me feel a certain type of way. Like, why would we have Randall Cobb, a player that wasn't there last year for Kansas City, even though he's a veteran, speak on behalf of that week one matchup? Because for him, I don't feel like it's as personal as it is for other players that were there in the playoff. I mean, you could have had Titus Howard there speaking on our behalf, and it definitely would have been better. But man, Titus Howard seems to be ready for the challenge. Bradley Roby said on his Instagram that he is willing and is going to have to turn it up a little bit more. Listen, if I could get 3 of those Justin Reed hits in this week one game, I'm all in for it. I think I'm actually going to bug Justin Reed until week one happens, just reminding him of how beautiful that hit was, just so that he's out there looking for that hit. Because, look, you cannot tell me that Tyreek Hill doesn't know that hit was coming. That hit on Tyreek Hill is probably the reason he started dropping balls in that game. But that's just my opinion, man. At the end of the day, man, they got to do the playing. They got to do the answering of the bell. And this is what's going to determine your season, man. You start 1-0. One of the things, obviously, that they cannot do is get too high to the point where, they go 1 and, let's say, 3 in the first 4 games. Like, what I expect from them is to go 2-2. We'll get into why that is and what will force us to be 2-2, what teams we will lose to in my book. But ultimately, man, it's a great opening game for the Texans. It puts pressure on Bill O'Brien to answer the bell early. I really hope that he does trust Tim Kelly with the play calling. But ultimately, I wasn't too mad about the Week 6 play calling that he was doing against the Chiefs. I mean, if they can't stop the run, keep running it down the throat. And I think that's the one thing that they didn't really do in the playoff game. And, they, like I said, they led the Kansas City Chiefs back. The first questions I want to say about this game is this a revenge game? People were already on Twitter saying this will be a revenge game. I don't know what you guys determined to be a revenge game. I actually think this is just going to be the rivalry. So from the point of this being a rivalry game, I mean, it's not going to be a revenge game because there's going to be constant games that we're going to be playing against the Kansas City Chiefs. Listen, they have a top quarterback. We have a top quarterback. We're going to be in the playoffs. They're going to be in the playoffs. There's no way that one of us get into the Super Bowl without facing each other. I really don't think that will happen. If anything, between us two and the Ravens, and I actually want to add the Steelers to it because a lot of people are sleeping on the Steelers. And if Broncos start to get the stuff going at quarterback, if that quarterback starts to get a feel for the game, they got the weapons for it too. So another team that you can't really sleep in. Man, the AFC is loaded. And that's why I say you got to answer the bell early. So when it comes to the question of is this a revenge game, no. I don't consider it a revenge game because you're going to see the Chiefs again. You're going to see, and you constantly are going to see the Chiefs, and you're constantly going to have to play them. And you know, whether we win this game and then win the next game, or they win this game or we win the next game, like this game, this between us and the Chiefs is a rivalry. It already is. I told my wife this yesterday that don't expect us to go to Arrowhead as we're scheduled to go, and be able to say, hey, sir, can you help us and take a picture of us in front of the stadium? Like I'm not even gonna bother asking a Chief fan that, because one of the things that I noticed going into Arrowhead in week 6 was that they didn't really take us serious. Not at that point. Not at the beginning of the game. By the end of the game, they knew we had arrived. But by the beginning of the game, they did not take us seriously. You know, they were being friendly. They were giving us, feeling, I would say maybe compassion, feeling bad for us, and, man, the Deshaun Watson answer. Look, at one point in that particular game, and I'm sorry to keep bouncing back to that game, but at one point in that particular game, we were down 17-3 in the first half. And in the first half, we surmounted that, right? Obviously, they did the same thing to us in the playoffs. But what I'm saying is, the ability to come back is there, So if you find this team being down 14-0, don't hit the panic button, because this team has definitely now the weapons, like O'Brien says, to go anywhere, to attack in any angle. And so, if that truly is the case, then it should show on the field, and you shouldn't be afraid. The second question here, man, that I had written down is, will O'Brien have this team ready? And I think I answered that in the beginning of the video. Yeah, I really do think Bill O'Brien will have this team ready. Listen, one of his interviews yesterday when they highlighted some of the games on the schedule, he said, hey, they're the Super Bowl champions. They're a great team. And this is going to be a good matchup, and we look forward. It's an honor to be able to play on opening night. And man, listen, Bill O'Brien, as prideful as he is, and how that pride actually gets in his way at times, he's still a man that wants to win, man. He still wants to win. Him and Andy Reid might be the best of friends, but at the end of the day, they know this is a matchup for a decade, man, if not more, that will be there and will exist. And so, will he have this team ready? I think this team is ready already from the aspect of they want to play. They already want week 1 to be here. Now they got to put the preparation in. Now they got to put in the physical fitness in, and they got to go and answer the bell, man. Third question I had here, man. Will there be fans? Look, said it earlier as well. It doesn't matter if they're fans or not at Arrowhead. That to me I don't think it actually affects Deshaun Watson. If anything, I think it fuels Deshaun Watson. So I hope there's freaking a full packed house that day. And looking at the tickets on Ticketmaster, man, those tickets are flying, man. So you can't tell me that tickets are not available. Because you can't tell me that tickets are going to be available come 1 week before week 1, because they're already flying out of the shelf now. Will we win? Said it already as well. Will we win? I think so, man. I think that pain is too much. Look, it happened in Kansas City against the Patriots, and they came back and proved that they had improved. They had it in their mindset that, hey, man, we're going to come out tonight and we're going to show what we're made of. And I think that's exactly what the Houston Texans will do. And I just hope that the new players that have come in and don't know about this rivalry just yet, especially because they're coming from the NFC, I hope they get the picture very early that we're not going to put up with the bullshit, bro. We're really not going to put up with the bullshit. I think another thing to look at, and I know you guys hate me talking about this, but just reviewing that tape from week 6, man, DeAndre Hopkins, man. Who is going to replace DeAndre Hopkins when it comes to those third down conversions? I heard Randall Cobb yesterday on NFL Network say that he's the type of player that keeps offenses on the field on third down. So that means he takes pride on being the target on third down. I strongly believe that you can't just pick one particular player. That's what's going to make this team great, is that if in third down, you can go to any of your weapons and they convert for you. If you can do that, you're definitely going to have that defense on their heels. And it'll be it'll be very curious to see if we attack the Honey Badger like we attacked him last year. Look, the Honey Badgers already came out and said that he needs to have picks early. I don't think he's, specifically said it about the Houston Texans. He was just really saying, like, based on another corner that was talking about how excited he was about week 1. He was just saying, like, I want to have, I got to get up on picks early. But he wasn't just saying, like, it could have been on week 1 or 2 or 3. But then there was the other guy who actually did pick us off in that first game. I can't really actually remember his name, but he was a rookie corner last year for the Chiefs. And he said that he was going to get 2 picks off of Watson this game. So, hey, I hope all the players see that. And I hope that motivates Deshaun Watson. As far as me talking mad shit about what we're going to do over there, I just know I'll leave it at this. We're going to get the win. We're going to get the win. Final score. Oof. This one I'm still iffy about, because I can see a game where we win 23-17, where it's completely time possession. So, man. But I know you guys say there's going to be a shootout. So, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of pleasure, I guess. I want to say this game, final score, Texans 34, Chiefs 24. Texans 34, Chiefs 24. With Deshaun Watson taking a victory in Arrowhead, and you know what the media going to talk about. Oh, they did it last year on week 6. Can they do it again in the playoffs? We know that's going to happen. Don't worry about that. What we need to worry about is getting right out of the gate with a victory. And that's all we need to worry about. And I know it's going to happen. To you guys traveling up to Arrowhead, man, motherfuckers are dirty up there. So, listen. Especially with this COVID stuff now, look. Just limit your encounters, I would say. Other than that, man, if you're going to Arrowhead, man, it's going to be a beautiful experience. It's really going to be a beautiful atmosphere. And like I said, I really hope that it's going to be packed out. Many Texas fans have already hit me up. Friends have already hit me up and say, hey, man, can we join you? Can we go with you in week 1? Had a friend literally send me flight prices and tell me, man, it's only $100. Let's get this done. So I went ahead and me and my wife bought tickets yesterday to the game. And so we're looking now to see if whether we want to fly and drive. Last time I drove, only because it was really last minute. Right after that Falcons game, I was like, man, I gotta go to Arrowhead, man. I just knew something special was brewing. And honestly, I have that same feeling for this game. And that's the reason why I said, you know what? Why even wait? I know there's nothing to debate. I want to be there. I'm going to be there. And so I did that, man. But if you get an opportunity to purchase tickets, and if you get an opportunity to go, man, do so. Do so, man. Because that experience, man, is like no other. It's nothing better than first of all, beating a contender, but beating them in their house and being there while their fans are thinking they're going to get a win, and all of a sudden, the shit is snatched right off their neck. Like Talib with from the Raiders. But yeah, man, that is my spill. Listen, we are going to get into the full schedule tomorrow. We're going to get into the full schedule tomorrow. But I said, you know what? Let me get ahead of the game a little bit, because I know most Texans tubers are going to talk about the schedule as whole. But I'd rather talk about the matchup that really matters, that really dictates how our season is going to go. And that is this week 1 against the reigning Super Bowl champs. But yeah, man, we're getting that dub, and I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn what y'all say, baby. H-Town all day. Let's go.